Hey guys! So I know that when it comes to working with your preschoolers on fine motor skills, one of the things that we oftentimes do is we hit Pinterest, right? We're like, we need to think of things to do with our kids for fine motor skills, and we go to Pinterest. And you can scroll and scroll and scroll for hours through a myriad of ideas and tools and things you can use with your kiddos for fine motor skills. But we don't have an unlimited budget, and you can easily spend $50+ on tools or homemade activities for your children. So instead of doing that, I'm going to save you a little bit of time and a lot of money by showing you just 10 things. $10 to spend at Dollar Tree to get you 10 things that are going to help improve your preschooler, or your tot fine motor skills, which is 10 items. And they all have multiple purposes to them. So it's going to be the best bang for your buck. So let's go shopping. All right, so we've got our bag of items. Let's dig into what's inside and how you can use them. First thing we're gonna start off with is stickers. Dollar Tree is a great place to find stickers. They have every type, size, shape. You choose which kind you like best, but stickers can be used for so many fine motor skills. If your children are ready for the level of fine motor skills where they can attempt to try and peel these off themselves as well as sticking them to an item, that is a great fine motor skill practice. Oftentimes, if you're more in the tot schooling age than the preschool age, then you probably will have to peel them off for them and hand them to them, but we can use them for a lot of different activities. Let's take a look.
One easy activity is just grabbing construction paper that's the same colors as the stickers that you've purchased and having your child match the sticker color to the paper color. This can be hung up on the wall, this can be laid out on the floor, however you want to do it, and depending on your child's ability for fine motor skills, like we said, they can either pull the stickers off themselves or you can hand them to it. So that's an easy one. Another easy one is to be able to draw a straight line, a curvy line, your choice, and have your child work to put the stickers on the line as closely as they can. This can be pretty challenging depending on the age and ability of your child, but it can definitely get more complex by the kinds of shapes, the zigzags, the things you do like that. But this is a fun, easy skill, easy for them to do on their own as well.
The next two items in our bag, because they kind of go together, are colored popsicle sticks, which are amazing for so many different things, and clothespins. Now, these you will find in the craft section. These you will probably find in the laundry section. They have mini clothespins in the craft section, but if you want the full-size ones, you're going to want to go to the laundry section. These can be used for so many different things, guys. So first of all, you can color the tips of your clothespins, the colors that are in your package. And you can have your child match the clothespin to the right color of popsicle stick. And we love to do this with our kids. Another way these can be used together is by drawing or writing numbers or maybe letters and having you write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say 1 through 5 on a popsicle stick. All right, and then you're gonna give your child a clothespin just on one popsicle stick. You're gonna give your child a clothespin and say, okay, can you put the clothespin on number 4? And so they're gonna take it, they're gonna find number 4 in the line, and then they're gonna have to squeeze it together and attach it to that popsicle stick over the number 4. And that's a great way to do it. If you have a little bit older kids and you're wanting to work on other skills, you can also skip a number. And so you could maybe have 1 through 5, but just put a blank for number 3, and you can number your clothespin, and they'll have to find whatever number is missing and attach it. So just depending on your child and their skill and ability. Also, things you can do for color popsicle sticks that my girls love to do is they love to build with them. So I have several of them in a zipper pouch, just like a pencil pouch that I will hand to them. And then oftentimes I'll give them a cookie sheet just so they have some kind of boundaries to where this goes. And they love to build pictures with them. So I'll say, okay, can you build me a house? Can you build me this? Or sometimes I'll just let them free draw with it, but they can use these to build pictures. You can work on making shapes, a great way to get them involved, working on those fine motor skills while still reviewing other topics.
You can also take empty containers, objects like a egg carton, and punch holes in the bottom with just a pair of scissors, and they can have a great time putting the sticks through there. You could actually even color code those on the top with just a marker, and they could sort according to color as well, or write a letter or number on the stick so when they pull it out, they can identify it.
Next on my list is blocks. Now, I was a little disappointed because I know in the past at Dollar Tree, I have been able to find colored blocks, like just 4 or 5 different colored blocks, and those are gonna be your ideal thing. I couldn't find those when I went, so I had to get these craft blocks, which are a little bit smaller. The ones I use are probably maybe 1 inch by 1 inch. These are definitely smaller. Definitely want to watch your kids with them because they could be a choking hazard. However, it's not an issue for us because we do all our fine motor skill things at the table while the older kids are working on their schoolwork. So definitely lots of supervision around. But any blocks will do. But what the idea here is you're going to use these for stacking.
So we can use these in so many different ways, but stacking, you can color or paint these so that they could stack by color. You could add, again, shapes, letters, numbers, make a stack of triangle blocks, make a stack of circle blocks because those have those shapes on them. So many great ways, but as they get older, they'll be able to stack it higher and higher.
You can also have them use our next item, which are these kids tweezers. You can find them in the school section. They are amazing. We have a bunch of different sets of these. You could have them use the tweezers to pick up these items, either to build a tower or to put them in piles. And these are a great size for the tweezers to be used. These tweezers are more set for little hands, which I appreciate. They've got a pincher grasp down here so they can squeeze a little bit closer to the end to make it easier. We use these for many different things in our house, and we love to use them, like I said, for picking up and moving things. That's a great beginning learning skill. And sometimes you'll notice your kids, when you first start out, will pick up with their hands and then try to squeeze it in there. That's okay. Like, let them explore and learn. They will get to the point where they can use these pretty proficiently eventually. Tweezers are also great for having your kids pick up pom-poms. Now, I was a little bummed, again, that my Dollar Tree only had neon pom-poms. I like to typically stick with primary colors when I'm working with these tools because they're more common, but there's nothing wrong with it, and these are fun. So they can use the tweezers to pick those up, or if your kids aren't quite ready for the tweezers, they can use the clothespins to pick up the pom-poms and move them from one bowl to another, and that can be a great skill as well. You're gonna put all the orange ones in here because orange is for pumpkin. That's a pink one. Can you find the orange ones? Like this. This is orange.
Orange.
Okay. Drop it in there. Yay!
I didn't drop it.
Good job. High five. Woo! Bingo markers or dot markers or whatever you want to call them are great. So we like to use printable pages, and I will drop a link down below of some of our favorite printable pages that we will print off and have my daughters work on dotting these things. These are really great at fine motor skills because you want to try and get them to get this marker in the actual circle. Obviously, different ages and stages are going to have different abilities. Don't stress it, but introduce that concept to them.
So obviously, again, this can be a great way to review numbers and letters. You can also make your own homemade sheets if you don't have a printer accessible by just taking the cap of a water bottle and tracing it along the page to make different shapes and numbers and letters. Also, you could have your child practice writing their name with dots. That would be another skill. You could do it either with a guide like the pre-done circles, or you could just have them freehand it if they are of an older age.
Also, you can have them use this for fine motor skills as well as a review activity, as you maybe have a piece of construction paper with different things on it. Maybe you're working on a particular letter. So for instance, we were working this week on the letter D for dot, so this was the perfect thing to use. And so I put a bunch of D's all over a page, and then I threw in a few other letters that we had done. And so I was like, can you find the duh sound. So they had to take the marker and stamp it on the D's and make sure not to get it on the A, B's, or C's. Kid scissors. Now these are actually toddler specific. They're a little easier to squeeze and they have the helps here. So you could get these or you could just use scissors you already have in your home. But scissors cutting skills are really, really important for this age. So I highly recommend grabbing a pair of scissors to work on with your kids. You can use it to easily with just a piece of paper, taking a Sharpie and drawing a straight line, letting your child practice cutting that. Then when they get the hang of that, you can try a zigzag or swirls or whatever, but you can draw different shapes and easily have this. The other thing you can use this for without having to buy anything else is if you go to the hardware store and you pick up paint samples. I love to have my preschoolers cut out paint samples and cut along the white line between, when you have the strip of paint samples, cut in between the white lines of all the paint samples. And that is a really easy skill for them to use. And then they can sort the colors. So it works as a great skill there. If you grab our next item, which is painter's tape, you can actually use these together as well. You can play rescue with these.
All you need to do to play this game is to fill a muffin tin or really any container, but this is nice because there's several containers in one. Fill it up with an assortment of items. My daughter was really insistent on doing it with the pom-poms and the blocks, but you could fill it with the toys they have around the house or anything else. And then you're going to take our painter's tape and you're going to tape every which way all over the top of it. And you're going to tell your child they need to help rescue their items by cutting through the tape to release their items. Now, this was my daughter's first try really working with scissors, and so she's just beginning at the skill, but you can see how this would be a great way to work on it. And sometimes kids like something like this over cutting just pieces of paper because they feel like it's productive and does something more hands-on for it. So this ended up being her favorite activity of the day.
It gives them a motivation to it and it gives the cutting some purpose to it. So highly recommend those. There are also some really fun printables online and I will link those down below as well that you can use for practicing beginning scissor skills. But honestly, I do a lot of making it myself on just paper with a Sharpie. There is a lot you can do with this as well. So you can make tracks on your floor. The painter's tape won't damage your floor and it's really fun and easy, but we've done this many, many times where we have made a racetrack on the floor. This is a Whiter's painter tape, so you could definitely just make it where this is the road itself, or you can line two sides and make a path. This is a great way for kids to work on fine motor skills because they have to stay on the road. And you can draw big tracks throughout the house or shapes, and they have to make sure they keep their car or their item, their pom-pom, anything that you have around the house on that track to keep it straight, right? Or they can trace along them. So painter's tape can be great for that as well. Next is pipe cleaners. We love to use pipe cleaners for so many different things. You can use these for practicing with, if you have a container again, where you can punch holes in the lid. You can have them put it through the holes, and that's a good practice of both putting in and pulling out through the holes. So that is a good thing. We made this for my older kids when they were little and they loved that toy so much. You can also use this if you have Fruit Loops or Cheerios or something else in your house, even like pony beads in your house. You can use this to have them lace through. This is a lot easier for little hands to lace with, to slide those items onto than a string because it has some structure to it. So these work great for homemade lacing beads. Also, these are great when it comes to making shapes and letters and numbers and things like that out of. They can bend and twist and make those items out of that. And you can use it if you have like a toilet paper tube. You can use it and punch holes with a hole puncher and have them weave it in and out and really have fun with that. Again, it's a little easier to manipulate for little hands when they have some structure to them. Just a few ideas of things that you could use to increase your children's fine motor skills and help them for just $10. I hope this has been helpful. Tell me, what is your favorite thing to use for your preschoolers to help them with fine motor skills? And be sure to stick around and subscribe. We've got great videos coming up on our fun favorite fall activities for learning that is coming up next week, as well as some great things on how to deal with sibling conflict and how to help your children love one another. So be sure to stick around and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.